Hello friends! So many have been asking me to review the development note at April 20th during my livestream, and I posted a short edited video with my points as well. Also, at the same time, my viewers wanted me to take a look at Mr.Asmongold's point of view on the future of Lost Ark. I'm really glad everyone has a great point of view in the game, and raising voices to point out their constructive criticism about the game. I mean, if the game is really dead, you won't even have people voicing out opinions. I wanted to review Mr.Asmongold's feedback and thoughts, and wanted to add a few pointers to share my opinion about the Lost Ark game so far. It's actually really funny because these problems are already addressed in the past before, but the Korean community's feedback was a lot different back then. First topic is punishment of mistakes and gatekeeping. Let's start with my story. I run carries most of the time. Funny enough, as for raids examples like Akan, doing a 5-man carry party takes about 40 minutes to an hour, whereas doing a full 8-man run with newbies takes about 40 minutes to party disband. I am very afraid of this because I have too many characters. Regular Con hard run gives about 7,500 gold, but with a carry run, it's about 23,000 per run. Honestly, I think this is a problem. It is so true that the developers put in wipe mechanics to prevent carry runs, but even if I'm not good at the game, I can still run carry parties right now. So we have this problem of raids being able to reset from one player's mistake while it's still being able to be carried. Touching the difficulty gets the counterpart angry by saying people have no skills, whereas making it too hard and mechanics so punishing makes gatekeeping harsher. This is definitely a problem that developers should think about this seriously. Personally, I don't know why doing said mechanics provides such punishment for failure. For example, why can't we make the mechanics very hard to execute, but it will provide you great buffs if you succeed? Obviously, this doesn't solve gatekeeping, but the mechanics provide positivity, not like negative punishments if you make a mistake. We're in a vicious cycle of this. I can't get into a party. Everyone is gatekeeping me. Well, make your own party. I made my own party, but nobody's joining. Your build is weak. Go buy a bus. I want to join a learning party to play the actual raid. Well, you can go make your own party. When I streamed this game, pre-clown raid, I heard this type of comment maybe once every 3 days. Nowadays with Bro Shaza out, I actually cannot count how many times I hear this every time I stream. Gatekeeping in Korea is extremely harsh as well, and the mindset comes from, my character's XI level with level 9 gems, why should I take this El Cheapo rat with level 7 gem? I'm gonna deny him. The natural instinct of not wanting to waste time in a raid causes extreme gatekeeping. So in essence, since nothing has solved the problem so far, I do agree with lowering the difficulties for lower raids to a certain point where newbies can just easily enjoy the fight where they don't need to buy carries anymore. Maybe for people who wish for a higher challenge that gets upset about the nerf, we can preserve the old difficulties and challenge modes for more rewards that are not as significant, like silver or materials or skins. This will make Argo's carry effect. Nobody buses Argos in Korea because it actually takes longer to wait for a customer than doing the actual run, because people actually do it themselves due to the raid being so easy. Second point is Payons and general economy. Payon argument is so funny to me. A long time ago, when Koreans were complaining about Payons, all of them were counter-argued as sarmok, which is rice eater in translations. This means you sell gold to make a living eating rice. If users complain about spending too much to achieve something and asking for a honing nerf or easier access to growth, you were called that way. The thing I do not understand about this game is that the Korean community in this game has way too overprotective people who cares about developers too much for some reason, to a point where they don't take constructive criticism as feedback, but an offensive to their beliefs. If I be blunt, it really feels like a cult sometimes. This is because their major counter-argument of removing payons is how will developers make money. There are also more counter-arguments as it prevents buyouts and market flippers. This one I kind of understand, but I personally do not understand why costing items like stones and tripod amulets cost payons. They're expendable. There are solutions like making accessories resellable only once, or amulets not resellable. Funny thing is, back then, if other users said the exact same thing, you were called Sarmok, they think you want the easy way out of 7 stones or level 5 tripods. In my perspective, I want the new users to not feel the same pain I've had, but it's funny how some petty people feel otherwise. I felt the community's jealousy and pettiness the strongest when people were complaining about the World Trade Leaves nerf. We recently had a nerf where it would be easier to get the newer ones. People who had the World Trade Leaves before the nerf complained to the developers and wanted a rollback because they work hard for it. Yes, this actually happened. Third point is exhaustion of content. Mr.Asmongold has a good point. In this game, making alts' goal is to make more efficient to push for new content, and we are forced to make alts and forced to do dailies on them to actually generate more revenue. When I saw people reacting to the opinions in the Korean forums, some people were furiously disagreeing with his point of one main and alts for fun. The main counter argument is, in Korean MMOs, you either grind 6 characters or plus, or pay up money to catch up investing less time. You're asking for too much without any effort. I did not understand why they had such an opinion until I understood the RMT culture in Korea. Like I mentioned Sarmok before, Korean MMOs are more convinced as investment than video games. Yes, people actually make a living off of selling gold. I thought it was a small portion of the users, but it's actually a significant amount, even if it's a gray area in terms of service. It's actually quite sad in my opinion, but it's the sad truth. I have never seen a community so sensitive about gold influx in a video game. Therefore, I believe the jealousy is at its absolute max when a player is able to access great rewards with minimal effort. People are terrified of players who make multiple accounts to make gold, and people who can generate ludicrous amounts of gold, because it correlates to actual money. There was an example. Back then, there was no 6-character limit. I had 20 characters back then, and I ran 20 Argos, 20 Valton, 20 Vicus for all the gold. Yes, I had no life in this game, but I really enjoyed doing it. Not many people were able to do this, so people hated those small people who were generating a lot of gold, saying they're the cause of inflation, which is somewhat true. However, after the 6-character limit, those exact same people reached over 6 characters now. They want the 6-character limit lifted off. Hopefully you guys see the pattern here. There are parties that always fight with masks on who want to RMT gold. Therefore, this phenomenon, where if anybody asks for any quality of life change for less grind, they instantly think you're a Sarmo. The main point we need to address after is the daily content. Again, we're in a vicious cycle of this. I hate doing 2 Chaos Dungeon, 2 Guardian raids every day with my X number of characters. There's a rest gauge, but the game encourages you to do them twice every day to get the full rewards. Nobody's forcing you to do this. You're FOMOing. I like this class and I want to push it to higher tier rates, but I already do dailies on X number of characters. Don't do the other characters then. Nobody's making you do it. During last Law On, one user actually gave feedback on these daily tasks and homework, mentioning he has multiple characters. The developers did say that the daily tasks are the minimum playtime expectancy they have for the game. I honestly think they said this because they calculated based on 1 or 2 characters. Funny part is, I do not understand why the community is so against making this change. And most of the counter argument is 1. Use rest gauge. 2. Nobody forces you to do so. And the worst one ever I've heard was, we used to do 3 times, so don't complain. Although nowadays, people are also asking for 1 Chaos and 1 Guardian. But again, they're still being called Sarmok, if you have this opinion. This is because Chaos Dungeons provide too many rewards if you do them every day. They're higher than any Legion raids due to content providing shards, silvers, and mats. In order for you to push at a proper pace, the game is designed for you to do a Chaos Dungeon every day, which is about 8 to 10 minutes per character. I had never heard any other counter argument than use rest gauges and nobody forces you to do so. If the system allows people to do the grind, you're incentivized to do them. I think an argument that puts faults on users is not a very good take. This is my personal opinion though. Why do we need to do the exact same thing twice when there are a lot more fun things that the game offers? One of the latest content we got is the Primal Island, a battleground minigame where you receive rewards based on your rank. There are so many unused activities in Lost Ark. Why can't dailies be different activities like Monday Chaos Dungeon, Tuesday Guardian Raids, Wednesday Naruni Racing, or Thursday Primal Island? It's not the best idea, but can we try something? It is a fact that people are getting burnt out playing multiple characters daily. There has to be a solution to fix this, and it's really a good point to point that out right now. Other topics like battle items and others are also good. Addition to the comment, why battle items can't be roster bound? I am pretty sure people who have opened bunch of Adrofin on a support character by accident. Again, these battle item related arguments connect to, yes, RMT and Sarmok. There has been multiple feedbacks on disable battle items for hell mode. People's counter argument is battle items impacting the economy, so people should pay for them to enjoy hell mode. Doing hell mode actually does not cost that much gold, which I agree at that point too. However, hell mode itself does not give that much value other than titles. Personally, I think I've paid my gold to increase my gameplay due to hell mode's difficulty. Even with those points, I still do not understand why we would need to spend resources other than time to enjoy hell mode. This content is actually really extremely well made for people who like challenges. It's disappointing that people are not giving it a try due to reasons like battle items. This is also a complex problem, because if rewards are added in hell mode, people who are not able to clear them are going to feel jealous. An issue is that in Korea, there are people who pilot where drivers get paid to carry hell modes for titles. Even though this is against TOS, people still do them, and I think it's a big problem. Whatever the result is going to be, they should make a more clean decision to the purpose of this content. Lastly, I want to talk about my personal opinion about the state of the game. I played this game for over a year every day. I always had fun playing this game and never regretted spending the time grinding this game. Some people may say I wasted my time or no liked it, but I think the most important thing is being happy at whatever you're doing. If new players get to be near where I am with a fraction of my time, I would welcome that, because I play MMOs to interact with other players, not to be the best, most powerful, rich player. The system should always benefit new players to generate more players, and grind should always be at minimal to experience fun stuffs at the end. However, making it too easy also makes users abuse this as well. So it's definitely a hard balance. I don't want people to fight to argue which is right or wrong. People have different perspectives, not wrong perspectives. I am glad developers are listening now, and let's hope for the best. If everything fails, well, we just move on. After all, it's just a game. With that being said, thanks everyone for listening. Bye-bye.